Alright, welcome back, guys. So, as you know, this week you'll be having videotape or recorded videos of your lessons that we do in class, so you can actually use them to study for your quiz on Friday. Okay? So this week we're going to be learning about the surface area of rectangular prisms and how we can actually calculate them. Okay? So first, what is surface area? So surface area is known as the outside layer of an object measured in units squared. So for instance, for a 3D object like a textbook, the surface area you'll calculate is the area taken up by each of the rectangles on the textbook, okay? So measured in units squared, what does that mean? So centimeters squared or meters squared, that's what it means by units squared. When you're calculating area, you always square because you're multiplying two numbers by each other, okay? So remember, don't forget your units. Within all your examples, you'll have either centimeters or meters, so these are the only ones you'll have to be working with, okay? So what are we finding the surface area of exactly? So we're going to be finding the surface area of rectangular prisms. So before we tackle how to label it, we're actually going to go over something you already do know, the area of a rectangle. So if we just draw a rectangle, that's a square, but we're going to pretend that's a rectangle. We had the base, and we had the height. So for a rectangular prism, it's now 3D. So it actually has the base, the height, but now you also have the extra width. So if we're going to show that by drawing it, the width actually comes out like that. So now you're going to have width. And also in surface area, instead of saying base, we say length. Okay? So if we go off by how this is labeled, for this rectangular prism up here, the height is always the part of the rectangular prism that goes straight up. So I know in class we discussed about actually putting this to a side and labeling the height, but now we're going to stick with however the rectangular prism is, your height is always the part of the rectangular prism that is going straight up. Okay? So if we go back to labeling, this part of the rectangular prism going straight up is the height. And then we have length and width. So the one thing about rectangular prisms is you can actually change the length and the width. They don't always have to be the exact same. They are interchangeable. The one thing you do have to know is the height. The height is always going straight up. So let's label this rectangular prism over here. So this part of the rectangular prism is going straight up, so that tells you right away that's the height. So now I have length and width to label. So for instance, right now we're going to say this is the length. And let's say that this side on the diagonal is the width. So when you're labeling these things on your test, just know you can switch the length and the width. So for instance, the diagonal can be your width, and the straight on can be your width. But just know that the going straight up is always your height. So on your quiz, you always have to label your height as the part of the rectangular prism that is going straight up. Okay? So how do we calculate surface area? Surface area, just like area, has a formula that you can actually substitute your numbers into. Okay, so we're going to write down the formula right now. So SA, surface area, is equal to 2 times length times height plus 2 times length times width plus 2 times width times height. So I had two great questions in class. One of them was, why do we multiply everything by 2? So we multiply everything by 2 because if we have a rectangular prism, we actually open it. So this would be called a net. So with a net, you have two triangles, or two rectangles that are always the same. So for instance, this rectangle here is the exact same area as this one. This top one is the exact same area as this one. And the two sides have the exact same area. So if we have two that always have the exact same area, that's where the multiplying by 2 comes from. I also had another great question. What are L, H, and W? Let me tell you. So L stands for length. W stands for width. And H stands for height. Okay? Alright, so after I spell that wrong and fix it, so length is always L, H is height, and width is W, okay? So in your questions, you'll have a rectangular prism with different dimensions. All you have to do is substitute, something you guys are used to, okay? So let's go over 2 examples. So here we have a rectangular prism. It is labeled, going up is the height, and then these two you can change, but for now it's telling us the length is the bottom and the width is on a diagonal. So the first thing you always do is write down the surface area formula. You will be given the formula on the test just because it's really big. So surface area So this formula you will be given. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize it. So we have 2 times L times H, 2 times L times W, and 2 times W times H. So I had a great question. Is this kind of like BEDMAS? Yes. So you're going to do your brackets first for everything. Then you're going to multiply the 2. Then finally you're going to add all your numbers together. So one good trick to do is always write down the information that you already have. So the questions tell you length is 10 centimeters, width is 5 centimeters, and H is 2 centimeters. Okay, so either underlining it or writing it out again, that will help you with substituting back into the formula. So let's find the surface area. So we have 2, so length times height. So length is 10 and height is 2. Okay, so that's where those numbers are coming from. Pause the video right here and try and fill out the rest, okay? So once you've come back, this should be the rest of your formula. Okay, so for yours it'd be all one line, but I just ran out of room. So, BEDMAS, let's do the brackets first. Okay, so 20 comes from 10 times 2, 50, 10 times 5, and 10, 5 times 2. Okay, so now we're just going to multiply each bracket by 2. Okay, so now I have 40 plus 100 plus 20, so it comes to 160. But the answer isn't 160. It's 160 centimeters squared. Never forget your units. These are very important. So if you guys pause the video, got that answer, pat on the back for you guys. Let's try another example. So here we have, it's a little faded, but we have a rectangular prism, and we have its corresponding net. So in class we said that the length is the longest side, but we're going to go with the height is the part of the rectangular prism is going straight up. So let's write down what we know. Okay, so height is the part that's going straight up. The part that's going straight up is right here, 6 centimeters. Now we have our length and width. It doesn't matter which you label is which, because they are interchangeable. So let's just say the length for now is 3 centimeters, and your height, or your width I mean, is 2 centimeters. Okay? So let's write out the formula, and then you guys can pause the video and try to get the same answer, okay? Okay, so from here you can pause, substitute your numbers in, and then you'll come back to the video and make sure that your steps are all right. So first step, let's substitute. So surface area, so length times width, so 3 times 2. Length times height, so 3 times 6. And width times height, so 6 times 2. Okay, so now, again, bedmass, doing brackets first, and then we're going to multiply the 2. Okay, so I'm going to multiply in. So our final answer is 72 centimeters squared, okay? Make sure you don't forget the units. Those are very important. On a quiz, you could lose a mark because you forget your units. If you'd like to carry the units throughout the calculation, that's good too, so it keeps you, so it reminds you to actually put the units in, okay? So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we're going to go over some fun things tomorrow, right?